Hi, welcome to the Leadership During Crisis Online Summit series. Thank you for taking your time to watch these episodes. Please remember to subscribe at our YouTube channel. We will be releasing the episodes 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m.
It's my privilege to invite the next speaker, who is the keynote speaker, Mr. Avi Liran.
If you have rules that don't delight, change the rules! Do you want to know what it's all about? For the past 10 years, I've been researching, implementing, and practicing delight.
Avi, have you been affected emotionally by the challenges that you have experienced in life?
Yes, of course. And I think that everybody is affected emotionally.
Can you give people some tips on how you can actually climb out of a situation like that?
Well, I can tell you something that people are going to remember because it's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And another short story is last June, somebody stole my bag in Madrid and I lost everything. I lost my passport, I lost my computer, I lost my money. And lucky for me, I believe in having two phones and I have 2 passports. But at the same time, it was devastating because I felt so stupid. Everybody tells you in Madrid, take really good care of your bag. And what was I thinking? And you know, the first thing that happened when we make mistakes, we tend to be so hard on ourselves. I guess in every person's mind, you have a chief critic officers that tell you how bad you are. And that may not be the whole truth. So what I did, I saw that the 20 over people that were my hosts in Madrid were extremely worried and pretty ashamed that it happened to me in the restaurant where they hosted me. So I told them, let me tell you a story. My business partner is 84 years old this year, Lenny. He had a problem a few years back that is called carpal tunnel syndrome, where the blood doesn't flow into the hand. And you wake up in the morning and it's so painful. So he goes, "Aye!" So if you're in the audience, can you help me and do this with me? And do, "Aye!" And this is what exactly I did to all the 20 people. I said, please stand up and do, "Aye!" And they did. And then I said, but Lenny is the happiest person in the world. And he doesn't like to stay unhappy. So he looked in the mirror and he converts the pain into a Mexican song. And he goes, "Ay, ay, ay, ay." This ritual helps me immediately to get perspective, to vent the pain. Pain happened and it's okay. It's okay to feel the pain. It's okay to feel bad. Like the weather, pain doesn't stay for a long time unless you insist. The weather, the storm will go. No storm, no tsunami, no SARS, and not even Corona will stay for the rest of our life. They're gonna pass. Unless you insist of taking the cloud and put it on your head, so it's going to rain and rain and rain. Let go. I'm happy to share with your viewers that I am a human being. As a human being, I have emotions. Statistically, it's funny that it says that women are prone twice as much for depression. However, statistic says that men commit suicide 4 times more than ladies. And maybe one of the reasons is that ladies can talk about their emotions, and we as males typically go back to our cave and we don't talk too much and we don't have the myriad of emotion to talk about. A book that really helped me at time that I was total loss emotionally and I was destroyed and I even was depressed, was Daring Greatly. It was kind of a Bible of revival of myself. You know, they say that the problem of many is the suffering of fools. But when I realized that almost everybody is vulnerable, almost everybody suffers from being too perfectionist and too hard on themselves, at that time, it was good to know that it's humanly so. So if you feel bad about the crisis, losing your money, and I lost as well, maybe not as much as you did, then you're in good company. The second thing is when we feel bad, we try to portray that we feel good and we become inauthentic and we try to numb our feelings so we don't have to visit the pain. But what that happens it doesn't only numb your pain, it also numbs your joy. And then you learn in this book, what do wholeheartedly people do in order to have a better way that they can handle things, and then you learn from them. And lastly, you'll expect to be happy all the time. People will lie to you if they say that they're always happy. It's impossible. Only dead, delusional, drunk, forgetful lunatics and liars are always happy. Lenny and Matthew Ricard, when he meditate into fMRI, that see that the happiness area in his brain is illuminated the most. A friend of mine named Chip Conley, who is also a great mentor of mine, wrote a book called Emotional Equations. And he says that you could change emotion like you change colors. If you take red and blue, it makes purple. So one of the things that people have at these times is anxiety. And if you look at the equation in the middle, it says anxiety equal uncertainty times powerlessness. So what you could do when you feel anxiety because of the situation, first, what can you be certain of? And a lot of the certainty is what you can do. What are your strengths? What are the things that you could do differently? What are other people that are in your industry doing differently? Maybe it's time for change. And when you reduce your uncertainty and focus on what you can do, the number will go from maximum to below 1. And if you look at powerlessness, I would recommend that you can have an agreement with the universe. Say, what I will do my best to change, but whenever my best is not good enough and I can't change it, I have to accept it, and I can focus on the thing that I can do. So outsource the thing that you cannot change. You cannot change what the government will do at times of crisis. And not only at time of crisis, when I have my workshops, I do this all the time. We just did it yesterday morning when we had a new person coming to our team. Yes, I recruit at time of crisis because I think it's an opportunity. And what we did, we found a feeling on the wheel, and then we say, I feel like this. And then I say, my expectation from today is, and then my commitment for today is that. And you could go and Google the wheel of emotions and take a look and check with yourself, how do I feel? And as a leader, if you can talk to the people that are working with you and say, I feel a little bit anxiety, I feel a little bit sad. When you could come up and share something and be transparent, you're going to feel better, they're going to feel better, you're going to be authentic.
What would be the 3 things someone must do right now?
I would say the first thing is look inside yourself. There's a lot of goodness there, and observe the play in your brain. In a chapter that I'm writing now, it's called The Board Directors of My Mind, or The Voices in My Head. I have to decide which one. Mm-hmm. And we all have many voices, and some voices hijack ourselves. But if you could label and see who is there talking, is there the victim in your mind that is talking, that somebody cheated you and you had a problem? Is it the chief criticizing officer? Is it your ego talking? When you identify the person, the personality within you that is talking, you could see whether they report to you or you report to them. I think you need to understand the difference between feedback and criticism, especially when you talk to yourself, because you are listening. Feedback is when you give yourself ideas how to do things better, and there is an upside to the feedback. Criticism is putting you down, telling you what you did worse without giving you any kind of hope on any kind of suggestion how to do differently. And I suggest that you look very carefully at what thoughts you produce. Your thoughts will create your emotions and your feelings, and your feelings will create your behavior. Take a position and say, I know who you are. You are the chief criticizing officer. I want the chief feedback officer. Can you tell me the same thing with an upside? This is one thing that I would suggest. This is the essence of what I work in. I help people, I help leaders and managers to deliver delight. And what is the core of delivering delight? What is the one action, the one mindset that if you do it, no matter of the time, unconditionally, consistently, continuously, you will gain more trust, you will gain influence, you become accepted and feel sense of belonging in the community that you're doing that, and you're going to feel happier. Again, what is the one action, which is one attitude, it's one word, that if you do it unconditionally, consistently, and continuously, you will earn trust, gain influence, feel sense of belonging, and be happier in the quickest manner. It's contribution. That today you could be useful. You're going to transform from helpless to helpful. And there's huge science about what happened when we behave in generosity to others and we give to others. And yes, even though you don't have much, sharing the little that you have will make you feel important in your own eyes. So that's my second suggestion. The first one is watch what you're thinking and identify the voices, take control. The second one is have a mindset of contribution. And the third one is awaken the lion within you to protect you in these times. Put boundaries not only to your negative thoughts, but also to people that try to take advantage of you. However, I can tell you, I'm not as great in that yet, because some people, when I try to put my boundaries, people say that I'm too aggressive. So I'm declared 2020 as my year of grace. So if you look at this small thing, it's my earpods, and my name is not Grace, but I put it so every day I'm going to remember that I need to be graceful when I give feedback, not to hurt other people. It's okay to bring your lion, to make sure that people are not taking advantage of you, but at the same time, don't make them fall, don't insult them, don't be too harsh on them. When I do that, I feel really terrible, and it's work in progress for myself. Maybe the 3.5 thing that I will tell you, forgive yourself. For goodness sake, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, and I learn from them. If you remember one sentence that I said, you are refined, not defined by your mistakes, your failures, your adversities and challenges.